What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Professor Anime coming back at you with another video. So, Tokyo Ghoul. I just finished the Aogiri Arc, so in today's video I am here to bring you a anime and manga comparison review of the Aogiri Arc in Tokyo Ghoul. Now, before I actually start this video, let me just say, if there is anyone out there who hasn't read Tokyo Ghoul yet and has at least caught up to this point, do not watch this video. Do not watch this video. And if you do plan to actually check out Tokyo Ghoul, which I highly recommend you do because there are major differences that the anime left out that are in the manga, definitely check out Tokyo Ghoul from chapter 1 and finish that up, and then you can move on to Tokyo Ghoul Re. Okay, but in today's video we are only talking about the Aogiri Arc. We are not done with the Tokyo Ghoul series, but just in case you are someone who hasn't checked out Tokyo Ghoul yet, I highly recommend you do. However, if you are someone who has checked out the Aogiri Arc in Tokyo Ghoul, then sit back and enjoy, because we're about to get this comparison review started. So, the Aogiri Arc has probably have to be one of the best arcs in Tokyo Ghoul that at least I have read so far. Maybe there is another arc that can actually top this arc that you guys have seen, but from what I have seen, the Aogiri Arc is definitely the best arc in the series so far that I have read. Now, when it comes to the Aogiri Arc, many people are going to be disappointed, and I can see why people were disappointed from watching the anime, because in the anime, they cut out like 2/3 of the Aogiri Arc. And it went by like that, okay? Now, the Aogiri Arc in the manga, that shit brutal. The biggest difference that I noticed in the Aogiri Arc in Tokyo Ghoul that was in the manga comparing to the anime was definitely the introduction of Banjo. Banjo in the Aogiri Arc, in the anime at least, played very little importance. He was a very, and I mean very minor character. So, when it comes to the manga, Banjo plays a huge role. He really does. Banjo is a very interesting character as well. Now, while chapter 46.5 technically isn't considered in the Aogiri Arc, because I think the Aogiri Arc starts at like chapter 49, maybe 50, I can't really remember which one, but basically in chapter 46.5, we get information on Rize. We get a backstory on her and how she acted as a ghoul in the past, but also how Rize and Banjo are connected in some ways, since they both come from the 11th Ward. Now, the 11th Ward is a ward that a lot of ghouls are from, but these types of ghouls are very sadistic and violent. Now, when it comes to Banjo, on the other hand, Banjo shows more compassion toward other ghouls rather than, you know, going out and killing everything. Banjo played a huge role in the Aogiri Arc, how we get to see how exactly he met Kaneki for the first time, and how when Kaneki first ended up getting captured by Aogiri Tree, Banjo ends up forming a anti-Aogiri pact that helps Kaneki try to escape from Aogiri Tree, but sadly that didn't go down as well. But also in this arc, we get to see that Banjo as a character is a ghoul that cannot use his Kagane whatsoever. Maybe he will end up using his Kagane later down the line, but for right now, from what I have seen, he is a powerless ghoul. I really like Banjo as a character because he is very interesting. He is a ghoul that cannot use his Kagane, but even though he is powerless, he is still willing to go that extra step in order to protect those around him, even including ghouls who he just met, aka Kaneki. And in the beginning of the Aogiri Arc, Banjo was very hostile towards Kaneki, but later down the line, he starts to grow a newfound respect towards Kaneki, and also ends up helping Kaneki try to escape Aogiri Tree to begin with, and also kind of played a role into Kaneki's development as a character as well, because at the end of the Aogiri Arc, Kaneki ends up, you know, becoming a leader figure. However, in the beginning of the Aogiri Arc, Banjo is the leader figure towards Kaneki and the other ghouls around him. But I think the main reason why I enjoyed Banjo's character a lot in this arc was probably because of the fact that he is one of the first people to notice Kaneki's transformation. He notices Kaneki's internal conflict right in the beginning of the Aogiri Arc, and he knows that eventually, with this growing internal conflict that Kaneki has, he will snap at some point. And Kaneki does snap in this arc. Why? Why didn't they include RC cells? Why didn't they include RC cells? Now I know what I've been missing out on. I know what I've been missing out on now. The anime to me of Tokyo Ghoul no longer exists after this arc that I have read. Why didn't they include RC cells in the anime? It would have made the anime so much better, and anime viewers out there would have got a better understanding of the Kagane, the ghouls themselves, and like just overall everything that makes up a ghoul. Why did they not include this? Why? I don't understand. RC cells are basically the blood of a ghoul. They make up the entirety of a ghoul to begin with. I'm not going to go in depth on what these RC cells are, because actually there are tons of chapters that actually go over the Kagane themselves and the RC cells and a better understanding. And the manga itself is a biology lesson on ghouls, you know. Now, maybe they excluded that out from the anime because of the fact they would think, oh, you know what, people don't have that much of a attention span, so they would completely disregard this because, you know, people only want to see Tokyo Ghoul for the fights. I'm sorry. It's just like, I'm mad at the anime, and I'm mad at myself at the same time because I didn't check out the manga before the anime. And like, they skipped out so many parts. The anime doesn't exist to me anymore. It really doesn't. RC cells would have played a huge role. And one of the best things that I think that was brought onto that biology lesson in the manga about RC cells was probably for the fact that if you eat another ghoul, your RC levels increase, therefore making the ghoul who ended up doing cannibalism on the other ghoul ends up becoming stronger. That's going to play a huge role in the series, a very huge role. Just why? Now, Kaneki and Jason. Kaneki ends up being captured by Aogiri Tree, and then due to uncertain circumstances, Kaneki ends up going to be Jason's subordinate. However, Jason's subordinates are only used for Jason for his masochistic pleasure. Kaneki gets tortured so much brutaler than in the anime. It's so much more brutal. It's so much more brutal. Please, if you're still watching this review, you probably have already been spoiled. But if it's anything you need to check out, you need to read the manga of Tokyo Ghoul now. That scene, Kaneki and Jason being tortured, or Kaneki being tortured, excuse me, by Jason. Jason plucks his toes off, one by one by one, and then he puts them in the bucket. And then it's even assumed that Kaneki also had his nails plucked off as well, his fingernails, okay? I'll probably come out with a later video on basically why his nails turned black in the first place, because while there are people out there who probably do know why his hair ended up turning white, they probably don't know why his nails ending up turning black. So I probably will make another video on that, but it's assumed that also Jason plucked off his fingernails one by one as well. And then Jason puts that centipede, in his ear, okay? Kaneki just goes, whoa! He's laughing so hard because it's tickling inside him. And it was really hard to look at. It was really hard to look at. Because, like, I love Ishida's art style. His art style in Tokyo Ghoul, it's so gruesome, but so enjoyable to look at. And just this whole torture scene, jeez. Also, in the anime, you know how Kaneki's hair ended up turning white like that in the anime? Yeah. From eating Rize, like accepting the fact that he was a ghoul now and left his human side. Well, in the manga, what I really enjoyed is that we get to gradually see Kaneki's hair change white. It doesn't go completely white like that. You can actually see the strands in the artwork. You can see the strands in his hair start turning white before it goes completely white. And in the anime, I would say that Kaneki experienced this torture scene with Jason probably went down. It seemed like it was going on for hours for Kaneki. But for Kaneki in the manga, he literally goes on with this whole torture thing for about 10 days. 10 days. It doesn't seem like a lot, but what Jason did to Kaneki, that will take a toll on somebody. And Kaneki goes, he snaps. Like I said previously, Kaneki snaps in this arc. We also got some backstory on Kaneki's past as well. We get to see that he had a very strong connection with his mother. His mother ended up working very hard, but due to certain situations, because of how hard she worked, she ended up dying. And we get to see now that the aunt, Kaneki's aunt, ends up actually taking care of Kaneki in the end. But the aunt is, I would say that she completely abused Kaneki. She really did, because she was so jealous of her sister that she ended up completely disregarding Kaneki from doing what he loves or just being praised for his good efforts. We get to see that scene where he shows his report card to his aunt and says, "This is what I did at school," and she just completely disregards it. She's like, "Are you trying to make fun of me and my son out there?" Like, man, Kaneki has gone into deep shit, and he has had a hard life right in the beginning. Kaneki right now, as far as what I gathered, okay, Kaneki is a tragic hero. He really is. He is the hero. He is our main character of this manga series. But even though Tokyo Ghoul has already stopped and or has already concluded, and now there's Tokyo Ghoul Re that is still going on, I don't have to go into Tokyo Ghoul Re knowing that Kaneki will end up dying in the near future. That is my theory, okay? That is my theory, because like most tragic characters in literature in general, they do end up dying at some point. And Kaneki, I can really see ending up dying in the near future. Because Kaneki has this burden now. He has this burden that he's taking everybody's problems and putting them onto himself. And at the end of the Aogiri arc, we see that. And this is what's going to kill Kaneki in the near future. I can already see his death coming, possibly by the end of Tokyo Ghoul Re. But if Tokyo Ghoul Re concludes there, and then another manga comes out for Tokyo Ghoul, then we'll have to see. But as far as what I gather, I think just due to the tragedy alone that Kaneki experienced in this arc, it is not the finale of what the tragedy that I will see. But we will end up seeing Kaneki die in the near future. I can guarantee that. Now, one of the major differences in this arc right here, one of the most hyped moments and most brutal moments in the Aogiri arc that I know a lot of you were waiting for me to actually go ahead and see this for myself, was 103 bones. 103 bones. It's quite funny, too, because I watch a reviewer, and I didn't know exactly what he was getting at this 103 bones scene that he was referencing, and I would see it in the comments as well, and I'm lucky enough that I didn't get spoiled on this scene, but people kept on referencing 103 bones, and I was like, what is everybody talking about? This makes no sense to me. And also, as I've been doing these Tokyo Ghoul chapter reviews, people have also been referencing the 103 bones scene, and I was like, what are they talking about? What is this 103 bones? And then I get to that chapter, and I'm like, really? If you have not seen my live reaction to that, click right here. There will be an annotation right here, because Man, Kaneki went all out. In the fight in the anime with Ayato and Kaneki, like, they punched for like a few minutes or so. They're like 2 minutes max. And then Noro ends up taking Ayato and they escape together, like that. In the manga of Tokyo Ghoul, we get to see that 103 bone scene that I never ended up getting to see in the anime. And many people who read the manga before the anime, before they actually watched it, they were so mad at this one scene. They were like, I just want to see 103 bones and then my life will be satisfied. But they didn't get that, and I can completely understand why. This scene was brutal. This just shows you the sadistic side to Kaneki that he had. From all this stress that he ended up building up, Kaneki has now become Jason. Or, better yet, a more sadistic version than Jason himself. He's more sane. He is still sane. But when he goes crazy, Kaneki will end up going crazy. He's like, if I kill you, Ayato, Toko-chan will be sad. So because of that, because of the fact that Toko-chan is one of my friends, I'm going to half kill you. There are 203 bones in the human body, and I'm going to take out 100, or did I say 203? 206 bones in the body, and I am going to take out 103 bones from you. I'm going to destroy that. I'm going to half kill you, because if I kill and destroy every single bone in your body, you're going to end up dying, and I don't want that. But I want to half kill you. Shut up and listen. Listen to me, I'm going to do this. I'm going to name off the bones and completely destroy you one by one. Kaneki, man. Again, why? Why? Please, make a remake. Make a remake. Make a remake now. Now, the last, but probably one of the most prevalent differences that I saw in the manga comparing to the anime was Kaneki's leave. Kaneki in the anime ends up joining Aogiri Tree. Now, when I first saw that in the anime, I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty badass. But after reading the original source material, now I really questioned my state on that. Because in the anime, it was kind of like, it was kind of just like this. Hey, I need to become stronger, and in order to do this, I need to put everybody's burden on me and shoulder everybody. And in order to protect those people that I care about, I need to become stronger. In order to do this, I need to join the people who ended up killing me and fucking me over. Kaneki ends up joining Aogiri Tree in the anime. While that does seem badass at first, the logic behind that makes no sense. It really doesn't. In the manga of Tokyo Ghoul, Kaneki does leave on Teiku. He does. But Kaneki forms a group by himself. He takes Banjo, he takes some of Banjo's henchmen, he takes Hanami-chan, he takes Tsukiyama Shu, the gourmet, the person who ended up trying to kill him in the gourmet arc to begin with, and just how that scene went down. Like, I was like, why are you taking Shu? As much as I love Shu, because Shu is a awesome character, I really like his character, but Shu, I was like, why? You know, I questioned that. And then when I saw that scene where Kaneki goes up close to his ear and he's like, Shu, let me tell you something really quick. You will be a very valuable asset to my group. However, if you try anything that could end up hurting anybody in my group, or if you try to get close to me, like you did in the gourmet arc, you're gonna die. You're gonna die. Just seeing Kaneki's whole 360 and his personality in the manga, comparing the anime, the manga comes out on top in every which way, shape, and form. It really does. I really enjoyed this arc. That about does it for the video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Now, I think I named off all of the major differences that were in this arc. Probably the only minor difference that I would have to say was that in the anime, when Kaneki had to make his choice between the father and the mother, or the two lovers in general, he had to end up choosing one of them, but sadly they both ended up dying by the hands of Jason. Now, in the manga, it was actually a mother and a child, and he does end up killing both of them. Jason does end up killing both of them. Now, I can see why they would take this out of the manga, because of the fact, you know, it's a child being killed, so there is that. That's really why I didn't really go too much on it. It's not really a major difference, it's only a minor difference, but it still holds, you know, a change to Kaneki's personality, so I guess it is worth mentioning as well. Now that about does it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below on what you actually thought about this arc and what was your favorite part about this arc. Also, let me know in the comments down below what you thought about this review. Sorry that it was kind of long, but, you know, when it comes to newcomers like myself who are trying to get into a series, we have a lot to talk about. So hopefully I entertained you guys on my thoughts and opinions on what I thought about this arc of Tokyo Ghoul. Sorry for the length of the video, as I stated before, but when it comes to Tokyo Ghoul, there is a lot to talk about. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked this video, please give it a like. If you didn't like the video, please give it a like. And if you want to stay up to date to my future content on this channel, please hit that red subscribe button below, and you'll never miss a video from me. That about does it for this video, guys. I'm about to read some more Tokyo Ghoul, and I'll come back at you in the next video. I'll catch you guys later.